balloons.
Oh, I saw that one, yeah.
If there had been a
so
contest,
cute.
I think that pug would have taken the winner.
Bring the contest back. You should be rewarded if you go really hard in your costume.
I know, but there were so many, and there was the fish pond, the Bed-Stuy fish pond.
Yeah, the Bed-Stuy fish pond.
I mean, people are way more creative than I
love it.
It was amazing out there. And then speaking of amazing out there, the weather today. We're still dealing with some chilly morning temperatures, but that's fall. That's been the trend, right? It's going to be a summer-like start to the week, though. We're expecting to get into the 80s today. Most of us will be in the mid to upper 70s. That dry stretch is continuing. We've been talking about that for a very long time because we just haven't seen rain for a very long time. But we will be cooler by the weekend. Still, it will be pretty nice outside, but it'll feel a little bit more like fall. So back to that dry stretch. We are at a rain-free streak of 22 days in New York City, and we could see that go into the number 3 spot in the ranking if we just get 5 more days of dry weather, which it looks like we might. So 22 days, our longest streak is 36. Another record that we're kind of close to is the record high, which was set in 1920 of 84 degrees. Again, we have that high expected of 81 degrees, so we're close to that record as well. Right now, we're in the low to mid 70s, 71 degrees in New York, 73 over LaGuardia, and then 75 down in Atlantic City, and sunshine all around the tri-state area for another day. For the rest of the country, 74 right now in Atlanta. We see 71 in Memphis, 70 in Chicago, really the whole eastern half of the country, and a lot of places in the Midwest enjoying just beautiful temperatures. But we still have some cold pockets in places like Denver, Albuquerque, Salt Lake City. We talked about that last week, and they'll still have another cool days ahead of them before they kind of even out, get a little bit warmer again. Our winds are very light. They're coming from the west, just 3 miles an hour, so very light breeze out there. And those dew point temperatures very low right now, adding to the dry conditions that we have, just 39 degrees for our dew point in New York at the moment. So we're expected to get up to 81 today, and if you don't cross into the 80s, you'll get pretty close. 75 is the expected high out on Long Island, 77 down the shore in New Jersey, 82 for Hartford, and then 79 for Poughkeepsie. Although it doesn't feel like fall, we do have some peak fall foliage coming this week. I'll be honest, I think this map is a little bit outdated because we should be closer to moderate and closer to our peak in most of New York State. But still, we have a lot of places in upstate New York and a lot of places in New England that are reaching that peak color right now in late October. Looking at our satellite radar to the tropics, we did have a hurricane hit Cuba last night, and that was a Category 1 hurricane named Oscar. Max winds 80 miles an hour. That has been downgraded to a tropical storm. But looking at our 2024 season overall, we are above average for our storms, our hurricanes. We've had 10. We usually just average at about 7. And we've had 4 major hurricanes, while usually we just have 3. So it's been a very active season in the tropics. But not an active week for us. We're still going to have an area of high pressure in control for the next stretch of dry weather. Tonight will get pretty chilly. New York, not so much, 61 degrees, but up in Poughkeepsie, a low of 50. We have a low of 45 for Monticello and 49 for Sussex. Meanwhile, the low in down the shore in New Jersey is 56. Tomorrow, back up to 78, so still feels like summer. Most of us in the mid to upper 70s, and then we're cooling back down by the weekend, but still will be nice outside, still hanging on to the 60s. Bianca?
All right, Liv, thanks so much. Looking good for the rest of the week, especially